And just let's take a moment as we're beginning the live stream. Amazing. Let's take a moment to just kind of drop everything and get comfortable and get centered. We're about to tune up to the vibration of the quantum field. And that's important that we take a moment in our day to just kind of pause and close all of the tabs, like force quit. All of the work is getting done, trust. Everyone's getting taken care of. And in this moment, it's time that you charge up yourself to the overflow so you can give more, serve more, create enough space in your life to get the downloads of your highest self. Cool? Y'all ready for this? So good to see you guys. We've got Scott in the house. I feel so blessed. So go ahead and close your eyes. Center your focus, your hands, and your thoughts around your heart. So with deep intentional inhale, 3 times in through the nose and out through the mouth. I want you to put yourself inside of your heart. Breathe into the bottom, in the middle, and the top of your heart. And so remember your place of gratitude. When you can exist in the place of gratitude, you cannot have anxiety and gratitude at the same time. So let's go ahead and find your place of gratitude. What are 3 things you can be grateful for right now about yourself? Find your self-gratitude for your heart, because it is yours and it's been given to you at birth. And there was nothing you had to do in order to earn it or to deserve it, no matter how hard you worked or not worked. It was always there supporting you. Just find your unconditional gratitude for your heart. And just find the gratitude for everything that it took for you to be here right now. All the mentors and the guidance, all the struggles. Everything happened for you to be in this exact moment right now. To seize everything that you wanted. You know, I have been dreaming as a child to belong somewhere. Growing up in Germany is like not black enough, not white enough, not German enough. And nobody looked like me or was acting like me. So I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. And to have the community, to have created the community that I needed is the gift I'm so grateful for. And that's you guys. Doesn't matter how weird you are, we love you and celebrate you for it. You can rock your weird here. So find your gratitude. And go ahead and send your energy to the ground. I like to imagine golden roots coming out of my spine, connecting through the soil, through the earth, past the ancestors, past the dinosaur bones, connecting with the center of the earth. 10 trillion tons of unwavering support has been there long before you existed. It will be here long after you're gone. Just find your place of gratitude for that unwavering, unconditional support directly beneath you. Some say there's more than 10 trillion tons of unwavering support directly beneath your feet. So take in that energy of support and allow it to rise up from the core of the earth through your golden roots, lighting up each one of your power centers from the bottom of your spine to the top of your head. I want you to see all your power centers lighting up like fireworks. At the top of your head, I want you to see this beautiful, magical ball of light forming. And just notice what color it is now. Notice the color of this beautiful ball of light. There's nowhere to go right now, nothing you have to do. Just put yourself inside of this beautiful ball of light. And on my count of 5, I want you to float it up like a weightless spaceship, like a spaceship that just entered the stratosphere and no longer requires force, power, or a lot of energy to float. You're literally in this place of weightlessness, where you're drawn towards this brightest star. And your pace, your progress is effortless on 5. 1, 2, 3. On 5, float up. 4, 5. Up, 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 up. Past the moon and the stars, past the brightest star, going past the galaxies, and the world gets smaller like a speck of dust. The galaxies get smaller like a speck of dust. The universe, as if you could, you go past the universe and past these layers and layers of colors, past bright colors and dark colors, through these beautiful layers of colors, and you go through this golden band. You go through this jello-like substance that feels like floating through water or jello. You float higher and higher, feeling lighter and lighter inside of your bubble, through this pink cloud of compassion, flowing through the compassion, feeling the compassion in your heart now. Forgiving yourself. You've just never been taught. Floating all the way into this white light, higher and higher, deeper and deeper into the brightest part. Into the nucleus of this white light now. And that's the energy of the creator of all that is. You may feel a tingling sensation at the top of your head. This is where the universal energy lives. Maybe it's the force from Star Wars. This is where your intuition, your spiritual superpowers are coming more fully online. And you get to remember who you really are. Just notice in this space, what's not love here? Breathe that in. What's not possible here? Where does this space end and where does it begin? You are part of this energy and it's never separate from you. And on my count of 3, I want you to just let go of your bubble completely and fully immerse yourself in this energy, okay? It is so safe for you to do that now. 1, 2, 3. Let go of your bubble now and fully let this energy in. Breathe it into the bottom of your soul. Breathe it into the depth of your DNA. And breathe it in to the bottom of your bones. And just notice how you feel. Leah, will you mute Vicky real quick? Thank you so much. And we talked about, Harrison shared about higher guidance. What if you could? What if you could get access to your highest self, your multi-millionaire self, or the billionaire version of you, the trillionaire version of you? You know, that version of you who already has accomplished your dream. The version of you who already has the love of their life and the health and the body of their dreams and the business of their dreams and the clientele they always dreamed of and the speaking gigs and the opportunities, the platform, the dream team, the stages, and some of the little fun things, the dream car, right? And that dress. Maybe it's a bag or a set of shoes. You know yourself best. I want you to imagine that version of yourself and just notice how they walk, how they carry themselves. Imagine that version of yourself and see how they breathe. Are they doing a shallow breath or breathing easily and deeply? Are they reactive, or do they pause and respond with intention and being deliberate about every move? Are they blaming others or claiming full responsibility for everyone and everything in their lives? And I just want you to receive a message, a gift from your highest self. Maybe it comes in form of a box. So imagine your highest self coming down to you meeting you where you are, looking you in the eye, and handing you this box. What does that box look like? What texture does it have? What is the weight of that box? I want you to go ahead and open that box now and receive your gift from your highest self. And maybe it's a message. Maybe it's a letter. Maybe it's a physical object, a manifestation of the message you get to receive. And if there is a letter, see it fully. What's the message? Go ahead and grab your gifts, grab your message, pull it all the way into your heart. Really lock it in and seal it to embody the message. Go ahead and thank your higher self. And go ahead, as we're here in this highest state, in this high place of consciousness where we're connected to all things, what if it were as easy to make a wish of the universe? As easy as making a wish like asking Alexa or Siri to play your favorite song. What we're going to do is we're just going to say creator or universe, source, whatever suits you. It is commanded that I have this in my life now. And you can make your wish. It's commanded that I have this in my life now. You say it fully, but whatever it is that you desire, whether it's the new dream clients, the income, the business, the impact, the stages, the platform, the love life, the travel, the adventure, the community, the support. You deserve it all and you can have it all. And when you complete with your request, you say, thank you, as if it's already done. You say, thank you, it is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. And as you say that, you can float all the way back into your heart. Float back into exactly where you're sitting right now. Receiving and retaining the message from your highest self. Knowing and trusting that your manifestation is received, just like submitting an order to Amazon. And on my count of 5, I want you to be fully present, back in a room, fully aware of your message, fully aware of your next steps, and fully trusting that the order is complete, it's confirmed, it's already here, it's already done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fully back, fully grounded, present back in the room, ready to receive even more. Beautiful. Thank you so much, friends, for sharing that with me. This is literally my gift and my blessing to share with the world. I've learned most of these tools, a lot, 90% of this meditation process is the theta healing process. I'm a theta healing energy teacher, trainer, and practitioner. And so some of my students are in the room, so just like wave if it's you. I see Brittany here, David has graduated. And many of you have your very own set of transformational tools that you practice. I know Lois has graduated our certification program. And yes, Jackie is in for October, our newest member. So excited to have you here. And we'll definitely hear more about each of you. So please, in the chat, before I introduce our next speaker, she's already here. I'm so stoked. Before we introduce our next speaker, I just want you to share in the comment, if you dare, to playful out, to just share, what have you received? What have you just received during this meditation? Have you received a message? Have you experienced a new experience, or nothing? That's also fair. Maybe you're still working on really connecting. James received $1 million. That's amazing. Congratulations, James. It's waves first and then particles. It first happens in the quantum and then you can hold it in your hands. You can hold it in your head. If you can hold it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. Yes, Jules says, ask it like Alexa. That's it. It gets to be that easy. Scott received visions. Locking his iPhone into a box. I'm loving that. At a retreat with 15 others. Incredible. I love that so much, Scott. That's going to be epic. Yes, David, everything's going to be okay. Just keep going. Reverend Kelly says, I am. Now there's power in that. Katie has a healthier body now. That's it. You deserve that. Dawn has received a cosmic message and a song. I'm excited to hear about this song. That's going to be great. Take a hold of the flame. That's epic. Write that shit down. Like, this is when the gifts come through. This might be your $1 million song right here. Okay, Chantel's gift box is a light show. Beautiful. Tracy says miracle messengers. And A saw her dream home. Thank you so much for sharing that. It is done. You deserve that. The order's placed. It is done. It is done. It is done. Yes. So if you love practicing manifesting, you're going to love to hear our upcoming speaker, because I get to speak at her event at the Fiji Mastermind. And so many of you have already invited. Jackie is here, our newest member, who gets to share the stages. I'm so stoked for you all to meet Jules, for you all to meet Jackie, and all of our incredible humans who join us for the Fiji Mastermind experience. Our next speaker is Jules Schroeder. And I got to tell you about Jules. She's the founder of the Unconventional Life podcast, super connector, incredible superhuman, intuitive guide, and just such a special human, and such a close, special friend to me, and Nikki, who is my partner, who many of you met. And I don't have enough words to describe how incredible this human is. Jules is such a powerhouse. And so, yes, we can do this interview style. So I might ask you some questions, Jules. So I'm going to welcome Jules in a moment. But before I do, I know we have new members here. You all get to learn how we introduce new speakers and new members to our group. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have you all of you find the unmute button. Okay, just notice the bottom left corner, find the unmute button, and I'm going to count to 3. And on 3, we're going to say, "What's up, Jules?" with insane enthusiasm. Okay, that's how we welcome new members here. And then we're going to do the same with some of you new members when we do our Q&A at the end. So it's 3:30 now. We have Jules for 30 minutes. So let's use her, but don't use her. But let's take advantage of her without taking advantage of her. Without all that being said, be fully present, dialed in, and locked in to meet Jules Schroeder. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and unmute. And 1, 2, 3. What's up, Jules?
What's up, Jules?
What's up, Jules?
Welcome, Jules. How are you feeling? How was that?
Oh, Miro, what a welcome. So good to see you all. Thank you for that lovely introduction and so much self-expression in this group. It is a lively chat, which it is so awesome to see, because I know out in the world, we are all multifaceted, created human beings, and oftentimes we get put in places where we don't get to do that. So Miro, thank you for having the space where we can.
Yay, love it. Thank you. So Jules, I did my best to introduce you properly. What can you say about yourself that I have not yet said?
Yeah, I very much am a creator, multi-passionate individual, whether it's, real estate or music. I'm a professional musician, event creator, and things like that. And really got started from this path in a whole new way. In 2015, I had a crazy near-death experience, wakeboarding accident, that actually accelerated a lot of where I was going. And I don't think you have to go see the light and come back to have these awakening moments, but I have the sense that most of you have gone through a similar, in your own way, awakening that has called you to this group. And to have this feeling, this internal knowing that there's more inside of you, yet this external reality hasn't caught up yet. And sometimes it can feel like there's this gap where, there are the things that you believe and you feel and you see in the already happenness, and they've happened in one timeline. And then, very much this gets to happen, in another. And, for me, it was a 2015 day, and was out wakeboarding, and fast forward the story, really come out of the MRI in the hospital, and I was visited by this white figure and 6 Black Shadow Council member conversation that was, "Jules, you have more work to do in the world. Do you want to do it?" And at the time they thought my neck was broken. They thought I was paralyzed. And I just remember saying, yes, as long as I don't come back as a vegetable. And in that next moment, I was zapped back into my body, felt this energy forge my neck back together and shoot down my spine. And the moment that I woke up that day, everything shifted. It was the end of life being driven by me and the start of life coming through. And I didn't know what I didn't know at that point in time until flash forward 3 weeks later and my phone rings and it's this woman who I met a year prior and is like, hey, you want to be a global ambassador of education at the United Nations? And I'm like, the United Nations. And she's like, can you be at the UN in 3 weeks? And I was like, UN in 3 weeks? I was like, I'm in a neck brace. It's not really the best time. Kind of like almost died and came back. And I just heard this voice. I was like, yes, go. And next thing I know, I'm at the UN and Forbes reaches out and they're like, you want to be a part of Forbes 30 under 30? And I pitched them on starting the first Forbes podcast called Unconventional Life, which I've been running the last 6 years. And that led into me literally having a dream to do live events. Woke up and Bali were the first words out of my mouth, seeing 30 entrepreneurs gathering. And little would I know that my podcast would reach millions of people in 75 different countries. The events would be ranked the top events for entrepreneurs. We would do them in 6 different continents, all by listening to that voice, that allowance. There's what I want, and then there's what wants to happen. And it has been such a wild ride, full of all the ups and the downs. Had a lot of health stuff happen the last few years that I also had to make space for. But I would say it is such a gift to show up and be of service. And I think about those words, you have more work to do often. And the humanity sometimes that like drags the feet and is like, no, it's really inconvenient. Like, not right now. I don't really. And then, the true self that's like, okay, this is what I asked for. And that's very much a little bit about who I am, understanding that we all get to find our own expression of that. And so permission per my mission is what I like to say is definitely the embodied example of how I live my life. So if you really knew me, you would know that.
That is a fact. Thank you so much for sharing it. That's so beautiful. And, a couple of what I call like cup down moments, the moments that I'm choosing to remember and like integrate in your share is these moments of life when we're going from having like life happening by me, meaning I'm making life happening. And it's kind of like force versus power where we're pushing to make things happen. And it takes a lot of effort versus receiving the gifts and the guidance of like, okay, something wants to happen here and that happens through me. And you are such an incredible embodiment of that work. And I've seen you do that magic in real time. And it's you're such a great example and truly role model for me because you're living into that so powerfully and so fearlessly. And when I think we all want that, to live life in sort of flow states. And I know for myself, I still at times there's a flow that wants to happen, but I want certainty and control. So I put like the handbrakes on a little bit. Hey, can we slow this down? Because I don't know where this is going. And so just like learning how to, I guess that would be my question for you, if I may, like, how do you learn or train yourself how to sort of release the brakes and just allow the flow, trusting the flow to happen? What would you say to us, me as a student too? I can be a master and a student. So what would you say to us mere mortals who learn more about trusting that guidance?
Yeah, well, I would say we're all human and we're all in our humanity, and you never stop learning. I never stop learning. I am always, having my humanity just as much as everything else. And, one of the things that I would really say, especially for us that, are here is like, what's kind of at stake and where's the aliveness? And that was such a unraveling for me coming back, like being in that out of body experience. It was the most amount of light and energy. It was like not of this earth, literally to the point where no fear of dying. It was like a longing of going home. Like if I was like on the secret menu, I knew that was an option at the table. I was like, wait, why are we in skin and bodies? And what's the whole point of this human thing that we're doing? But it really was touching that. And it had me really reorder. And I think so many of us, COVID was a pause and has been a pause for that, where it's just looking at like what actually matters versus what should I do? And I find oftentimes we give our yes and our no, which is the number one thing we have. We have control of so many things. We don't have control of so many things, but we have control of our yes and we have control of our no. And we give it so freely and so liberally to things that are not a 10 out of 10 on our aliveness scale. And the things that we feel like, oh, should I go to that party? Well, I don't want to let my friend down. And maybe it'll be a cool opportunity, or maybe I'll network, or we're exhausted and we're like, oh, but I said I'd show up on Zoom, or our kids or something like that. And we just give it away to all these should or maybe things. And when you tell the truth to ourselves, the outcomes of those yeses are always should and maybes in return. It's like, if you notice, and I actually did this for a week and I highly recommend this. I actually did for 60 days at first. I started tracking my invitations. I slowed it down every night. What are the invitations? And if I was to rank them on a 1 out of 10 on an aliveness scale, what was the outcome? So if it was kind of like a 6 or a 7, what was that outcome? And then I noticed here I was manifesting and asking for these big invitations and these big opportunities, but there was no space. It was like a traffic jam over my head because I was actually giving the power of my yes and training my environment to deliver me a 6 and 7 while actively saying that I wanted a 10. So if you don't retrain, and something beautiful happened when I stopped saying yes to those 6s and 7s. First, it was very uncomfortable. And it was like, holy shit, I'm having serious FOMO. And like, am I gonna like not, get the things that I want? But then what started to happen is that I started getting 8s and 9s. And then when I affirmed those 9s moved to 10s. And then the things that I actually wanted, there was no gap. They were there the whole time. They just had space to actually land in my life. And so what I would say is do an audit of your life. And even as we're on this call right now and looking at, like, where does your energy go? And if it really, most of that on average is going to 3s or 4s, I mean, sometimes there's a stuff you have to do in the world, but if you look at most of that, what can you actually give your no to? And the power of your no, and wait. It's like when you really want that thing, can you wait? Can you give up the thing that's good for the thing that's great? Because when you know that 10, you don't have to second guess. You're not like, well, it could be a yes, it could be a no. It's like when someone's like, hey, you want to come on a private island on a coral reef in Fiji? If you know that's a yes, you're like, hell yeah, I want to come. Like, you feel that and you don't second guess that. And that's the power that I've learned through this experience is the more you honor and confirm the wisdom that's in you, the more wisdom that you get more consistently. And so often it can feel like feast or famine. That's how it felt for me for a long time, like this crazy hose that's out of control, that sometimes I'm in the flow and I've meditated right and I ate good. And then like something happens and I'm like, nothing works anymore. And does somebody forget about me? And do I even have a purpose? But when I come back to the basics of listening and syncing up my listening with my acting, then I really do get to be a conduit for how I show up in the world. So that's something to play with and something I continuously play with.
So much power in there. And that's so in alignment to tracking your invitations, I think, is a very practical exercise that we can all do to just evaluate and take inventory of the people and the events in our life, whether they are full yes or not. And we do deserve that 10 out of 10 life. That's why we get along, Jules, because like literally the 10 out of 10, the fuck yes life, that's how I've been cultivating the experiences that we create and the containers that we create. And you live that so well, especially bringing in your divine guidance, because that is we can we just all put an order in. Now we got to wait for the signals that it is happening, and then having enough space for this beautiful life that we just called in, for it to happen, for it to drop in, for us to notice the 10 out of 10s versus the like 8 out of 10s, where it's like good enough, like the messy middle that can take up a lot of space where we wouldn't even have room. So such an incredible thing. What a great transition to talk about our incredible upcoming Fiji experience. I have so much to say about it. How many of you have already heard? I want to pull our audience. How many have already heard about the Fiji experience? Even if it's just in passing, just like raise your hand all the way. You can raise your, okay, great. That's almost everyone. It's like 80-90% of the room. Okay. So there you go, Jules. They're ready. Who has not heard about Fiji at all? Like, what is Fiji? Where is it? Why are we talking about this? Raise your hand. It's okay. Okay. We have like 3 or 4 people. Cool. So let's get over to you, Jules. What is this all about?
Yeah, well, one thing I want to say to that point, and Miro, this is one of the reasons why I love what you do. And Miro was at one of the events in Croatia on a yacht last October. And it was like literally how these events work. It's in the listening. It's in the exact practice. And I get a phone call like 6 weeks before and I have COVID and my friend's like, I have this yacht cancellation. Do you want to do an event? I know it's kind of like a weird time in the world. And I was like, Carl, like, I've got COVID. Like, I don't even know. I was like, let me just see if I can get some deposits. And I texted people. And next thing I knew, 11 people said yes. And we did an event on a yacht in Croatia to the point where like I recovered from COVID. And I was like, wait, did I get tricked into hosting an event when I was like better than like, wait, what just happened? And that is so much the practice of the listening. And one thing I say about it is that you can either create from the field is what I call it, or you can create from form, which is the 3D. And I think, Miro, you do that so beautifully. And I imagine a lot of you get that as well. Where when I learned that I could create in matter, such as like, okay, I want to get clients. So I could call 100 people, I could send a bunch of follow-up emails, I could do all this stuff, or I could create from frequency and from intention and from vibration, and I could seed it there and then bring it here. Timelines started moving like this. And often life is conspiring in your favor. It isn't your divine right to have everything that you want, and life is always conspiring in your favor. And the secret that I found to that really accidentally through these different events was that when you are in collaboration, in a collective listening, like we hear now, that collective frequency, that antenna becomes supercharged. So often I live so much of my life as this proud lone wolf, like introverted extrovert. And I was like, if I want something, I can do it on my own. And that's the truth. Anyone of those, like show of hands, that's been you before as well, do it on our owners. And yeah, that's effective to a point, but then what? You become the big fish of your own pond. And then now what? And then how do you actually up the ante? And can you do that with more ease and more grace and more resource? And these events became containers for that. When you bring aligned, resonant, coherent frequency in one same place, like that was us, this Fiji event got birthed through that Croatia event where we were all sitting on a beautiful private beach club in the middle of the Mediterranean. And Mira's like, I got the download, like, let's go to Fiji. And with the collective listening, it was like, wait, I know a guy in New Zealand who like works in Fiji and does all this stuff. And I know this and blah, blah, blah. And then fast forward, now there's an invitation birthed out of the listening. And so if there are things that you want at stake in your life that are not moving as fast as you want them to, this is the place where you get to bring all of that in coherent resonance, creating from the 5D or frequency and bringing that into form. And, these events, there's a reason why like 100% of people, it's all word of mouth. We don't do any sales or marketing. It's all like in the 1 degree network, is because like attracts like. And if you really can find your people and you can find your conversation, you really can become like invincible in terms of the rate of which you accelerate when things are in alignment with your flow. So we're taking over a private island in Fiji in November, the 9th through the 13th. And it's going to be a group of 75 people. And literally you're going to be able to walk out on the beach, because I was just there. I'm working with Fiji Airways and the head of Fiji Tourism as well. That just kind of like merged since I was like, I want to go to Fiji and do an event. They're like, cool, come consult us. So like we were just there, and you can like walk out, with the coral reef and everything. But more than that, this event is about focused momentum. It's about velocity and legacy. And I don't know about you all, but for me, COVID was a really rough time. I was super sick with autoimmune stuff to the point where I was having early onsets of MS. I went from very healthy yoga teacher, could do anything in the world, to not being able to get to my kitchen some days. Completely tanked my mental health. From the sense that this virus was taking over my central nervous system. And beyond all of that, I had some moments that I was like, if this is what living is, then I feel complete. Like I've done enough events, done enough podcasts. Anyone been there before in their life, had those moments of profound completeness? Yeah, and you can relate to it however you want. And what was being asked was me, if I really told the truth, to come into greater alignment. The way that I was doing things that got me to a point was not the way that was going to get me to the next level. And the tools that I had, as great as they were not the tools that were going to get me to the next place. And that was so freaking frustrating. As a student, as someone who practices the tools, it was like, okay, well, now what? And I had to figure out, and I like to say that these events are a magnet for people in transitions. And the number one thing they get out of these events is clarity on a cellular level. So if that is you in any way, shape, or form, know that you are in good company behind that. And what happened is I started to heal myself, and I started to get better over the last, year or so. Things started to move into an even more resonant place. And so I like to say that now, great, I have all the energy and we're all creating again, but still so many of us, whether you were sick or you had the best time in COVID or you doubled your business or whatever it was the pause. And then to actually accelerate with intention and focus momentum and velocity, and actually asking yourself, well, what's the point? Okay, great. Well, now what? Who are you really in the scope of beyond yourself, beyond being the big fish of the pond? Who do you get to be in collaboration and coevolution? And I profoundly believe that in the world, in order to get stuff done at a high level, it is in the co-field. It does not happen in the I. There is a cap on the I field. And when you participate in co with your words, your vision, like showing up in places like this, things just move. And that's very much the conversation, is how to focus the velocity that you are building, and also how to do it in like the most gorgeous place in the entire world with your feet in the sand, like, having the most like healthy food and the best conversations with people from all over the world. That's like all awesome. And to really transform, yourself, but also transform your legacy. And we have so many extraordinary people that are coming, that are registered. So there's so much I could say about that. But Mira, I'll let you take it there, because I know you've come and you've seen us in Croatia.
Yes. Oh my God, there's so much good stuff here. Already see the comments. Louis says, please send us the application link for Fiji already. People are just like ready to join. They already know it's for them.
Yeah, well, I'm over here going, damn, I wish I had an affiliate link, because I would have so had my affiliate link in there already. And my team is going, can we go? I'm getting pushed from my team. So we're going to have that talk tomorrow.
That's so great. So you two, you're lucky actually, Jackie. So Jackie just joined our year-long generational worth mastermind. So let's give it up for Jackie, everyone. and as part of her membership, she gets to be part of the Fiji experience. So yeah, Jules and I have partnered because this has been such an incredible co-creation, and I could not have done it without her. That I get to manifest actually on 11/11. This is my favorite part about this experience. On 11/11, we have a manifestation ritual, which is the same process. You guys have manifested with me before, but it's a new category of manifesting when we're in person. There's a level of communication that does not happen when you're on Zoom, and I'm so stoked for this. This is the same process that I used to call in my queen, my actual divine compatible soulmate, which is the best thing that happened in my lifetime so far. And you all deserve that, whether it's your partner or whatever you're calling it next. So we're doing it in person, which is so potent. I'm so stoked for it. You all deserve to be part of it. And the connections and collaboration that has come from the last retreat that Jules hosted is absolutely insane, next level. The people who are attending are here to create an impact in the world that goes beyond what most people think is normal, attainable, achievable. And they know that it's more, like it takes more than one person to birth this level of impact into the world. So I'm so stoked for Jackie to be part of this. You have such an incredible mission into the world, and we all get to know you in more depth and in more depth. I think that's the key word. You get to know each other deeply when you spend 5 days on an island together. I mean, really, you get to know somebody for real, right?
Absolutely.
So there's so much good stuff. There's a couple of things. So those of you who feel the call to be part of this community and want to dive deeper into this, I recommend that you join us. And there's an application link in the chat right now. That's the Manifest X Mastermind application form for you to become a member like Jackie and join us in that capacity. There's also the direct link to your experience. And I want to share that here, and just know that if you're coming from our community and you want to attend this event, have a conversation with me and my team first to make sure what packages and bundles make sense for you, whether it makes sense for you to be a member for a year or in whatever capacity, or come to an event, or maybe you just need to be at this event and that's it. But we're going to collaborate around that if that works. Okay. So the link for that, I don't know if my assistant has it, but I know I have it right here. It is in the chat now. Bam. I would kind of feel like sharing some visuals too. Is it cool if I like share my screen? And
go for it.
Or you just like talk about it. Is that cool?
I mean,
okay, cool. That sounds good.
Image of what seems to be something on the top of what could not exist in Mother Nature. I mean, like it doesn't belong there. Called Entrepreneur Island. Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
So that is the name. So the actual image, Humira, why don't you share your screen? And so this is live.
One moment. So I actually don't have rights to share my screen. So Leah, can you please give me co-hosting rights again, so that way I can share my screen?
So all of the imagery on the page is of the actual island that we're going to. And so we actually are working with a partner with Fiji Airways, where you can get nonstop. Oh, all right. A little bit of noise going on here. You can get nonstop flights from LA, San Francisco, Vancouver. And so we're working on having a whole little flight package with them as well. But this place I had the honor of visiting in, I think just 2 months ago, and it's absolutely stunning. Let me know when we're all set to go, Miro. I have a workman downstairs. So I just want to make sure that that does not keep going.
You are good. Okay. All right.
Cool.
So this is the landing page. Should I go ahead and just kind of scroll through, or open the brochure?
Oh, I see what you mean. There is a weird image that's coming up there. I wonder, is that what you're talking about, Jackie? Oh, never mind. That like weird thing there. Anyways, we'll have the team look at it. So It is, there's a brochure here to go check out, the 5-day Life and Business Accelerator. It's got all the different stuff there. Mira, let's go back actually beforehand. And so on this page, I find that most people who are drawn to this event, there's something pinging them. There's this curiosity that says, I have no idea what this is about, but tell me more. Or, Fiji, that sounds kind of nice. And if that's you in any way, shape, or form, I highly recommend that you apply and have a conversation with Miro or with me first, or Miro first and then with me second. And this is such a container where things happen, at such an accelerated rate. I've watched literally, partners come together, life partners manifest, to business collaborations, to there's always like what you think that you're going to get. And that usually happens within the first day. And then there's what you don't know that you don't know inside of you, that thing that you don't really want to tell the truth to anyone about because it's such high stakes. That's the thing that actually gets illuminated. And that's also why people come back event after event, because they get to be a mile marker. Seeing that as well, Miro.
Yeah, I gotta say something about this, because that was so crazy. Like our last experience when we went to the Croatia. So here's how. So who hosts like a freaking super yacht retreat in Croatia? Jules does. Okay.
We took over a super yacht, full blown. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was a yacht. Which already seems very extravagant, but it was a super yacht. Okay, there's no other way to put it. It was insane. It's luxurious, and amazing. So we go, and there was this particular moment. I was stuck, guys. Full transparency. I was stuck. I was in a slump for like, it's weeks since I've had a high ticket client that I created. And so I was in a financial slump. I wasn't feeling inspired. I wasn't feeling energized. I wasn't feeling confident. And Nikki said, yo, I don't know how, but I manifested this trip for you to go with us to Croatia. So we went together. Me, Jules, and one of the facilitators, these all these incredible workshops and teachings that were being done. One of the facilitators said, who here, I want to ask you guys, who here has something to accomplish? You came here to accomplish something and you haven't accomplished it yet. I was like, oh shit, I felt so called out. I was like, I got something, okay? And so I had this idea that I've been playing with, and it was literally hurting my head because it was only in idea land and it wasn't real in any way. And I was sharing about the speaker circuit idea, right? It's like I had this idea about the speaker circuit where we have like 10 speakers coming together and we all share stages and we do events together and we just like continue to grow together. And then I wanted to do this, I just had this vision, like an event, like 100 healers put together, like in a room, and this heart expansion, just like heart opening moments and gratitude and tears and joy and all of that. I just saw these visions, right? And I didn't know where to do it and how to do it. And so the story that Jules was sharing was, because I was called out, I had this room and this space was created for me to share this with a group of high vibing, intelligent, badass coaches, experts, leaders. And so I'm like sharing, okay, guys, you called me out. And I was saying, this is what's coming through me and I don't know what to do with it. Maybe we're having an event. I thought maybe it's LA, maybe it's virtual, but this event wants to happen, right? It wants to happen. And so they're like, yo, why not Croatia? And I was like, yo, now everybody, 30 incredible conscious entrepreneurs, like, that's an amazing idea to do to Croatia. No, wait, why not Costa Rica, right? And then somebody else said, yo, if you're gonna do it, like my family has this island on Fiji, like we can get an incredible deal and let's just do it in Fiji. And then Jules was saying, oh yeah, I know this guy, like he hooks up the deals. I have his relationship with the airline and like Fiji tourism that makes it super easy and cheap to fly there and stuff. And I was like, are you seriously kidding me right now? My little idea that was stuck in my head about turned into this incredible collaboration with like now up to like 75 incredible entrepreneurs led by Jules Schroeder, who's an incredible human. And all of this came out of being fucking stuck, you know what I mean? and saying yes to the invitation into the unknown, and something beyond my expectation happened. And the relationships that were formed, I know are going to stay with me for the rest of their life. Yeah, some of these people that are fucking multimillionaires and like authors and people who are like, fucking famous people, and the relationships that are formed are so far and deep beyond the stuff that we're creating on a physical plane. You know what I mean? So I don't know that there's enough words to describe sort of the value of being part of this experience. I just know it's been life-changing for me, and I'm never not gonna be part of this.
Yeah, I love that, Miro. And, I think sometimes it can feel like it's so hard to like the gap when it's inside you. It's been true for me, at least, where it's like, I really, really want something. And even like giving a voice to it of like, well, what if it doesn't happen? Or like, maybe it's that dream partner and you're like, I've been looking for so many years and it's never happened. Or maybe it's a certain level of financial income, or maybe it's birthing that soul thing. And when you actually give voice to it, and you give voice to it in an aligned and also coherent in collaborative way, things can move. And it takes that decision to just say, you know what? Yes, I've tried it this way before. And now what gets to be possible? And whether that even that moment is exploring the application, check that out. And if you're like, hey, I can't make it, then even entertaining this like concept as a conversation, also apply that into your life. And if you're like, hell yeah, I know I'm already there, like we'll see you there or wherever you're at in the spectrum, to have a conversation and you live your life in this way is not ordinary. Some may even say unconventional. And just to honor that in yourself, but to keep giving voice as a practice. Life as a practice is what leads to the outcome and the destination in my own experience. And like, I never choose where we're going. Life just says, hey, it came through his eyes and his ears and Fiji and Jules. And what do you think? And now Fiji. And it's all around us all the time. So there's no mystery. It's just deep listening. So thank you, Muriel, for the listening and for all of you for the listening, wherever you are in this conversation, and follow that yes, because more of us that are turned on living our life in our full yes, that is how we make the world shake. And that is how we make the world move in whatever application it looks. So
yes. So much yes, Jules. Thank you so much. Guys, I know this is the time that we have with Jules. By all means, stay on for Q&A. I don't know if you want to stay around for a question, if you can. I know we only booked you for this.
Yeah, I have about another 5-10 minutes or so.
So first of all, let's give a big thank you for Jules, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Jules. Okay, find the unmute button. 1, 2, 3. Give her some love. Thank you.
Thank you, Jules.
That was fire. Thank you, Jules. Love you, Jules.
Beautiful. So much love. So drop into the comments, what have you already received from this conversation just in her presence just now? What have you already received? And what questions do you have? So let's jam. And we'll just heads up for any questions, Jules and Fiji related, we're going to do maybe 10 minutes with Jules. And then we have Q&A for the larger Manifest X regular business as ordinary, if that makes sense. So I know some of you are doing TikToks and like different weird things that we're going to help you with. So that's still happening at 4:15 Pacific time. Right now, 10-15 minutes for Jules. So all you Fiji questions for Jules.
Yeah. Well, real quick, Mira, looking at that background, Mira, is this your setup every week? I'm like, you guys to give it up for Mira for a moment. I love just the background with you. It looks like the lighting is, yeah, it's awesome. Had my attention all the time.
Well, thank you. Thank you. This is a unique setup only for you. I move different places. So sometimes I work from home. I'm at the co-working space and we have like different angles. I just like to move around. Cool. But yeah, I'm getting this like incredible lighting on my face, right?
Totally. Well, we got a question from Scott. Do you want to read it? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, feel free to unmute. Raise your virtual hands, please. That way we can go in order in which it's received. So you can type your question, but also just raise your virtual hand. Jackie's hand is already all the way up. So we can start with Jackie. Everyone say, what's up, Jackie?
What's up, Mom?
What's up, Jackie?
So I was going to say, honey, it wasn't Miro. It's not about your lighting on your face. It's about the lighting on your head, which doesn't work so well for me, but is magic for you.
Y'all like it? Cool. Thank you so much. I think that's awesome. I'm confused, but I'm gonna go with it. So Jackie, what is your question?
The only question I had was about this whole experience in Fiji, which was nowhere on my vision board or calendar until we spoke 2 days ago. So now that I'm going to Fiji, and my team is going, how do we get there? And so that's my only question is, how many people can come and when is it going to close and what do we need to do? And yeah, because I looked at the videos and I'm going, okay, that's going to hold X number of people and then you're going to have to say no. So where are we now compared to what could happen?
Well, we just opened the registrations officially. One of my biggest values with all of this is an energetic integrity. Is we actually opened up the registrations to our Croatia group, and I went to Fiji, visited where I thought we were going to do it, and it was not the spot. And I literally paused everything, and I was like, "There is something more for me, the energetic integrity and the details, it's not just bring people to a dope island and have an event. It's like every detail sets the stage for the transmission that wants to happen. And so if I do my job as the translator and as the steward for this thing, then like that makes the magic. And so long story short, we got a contract re-signed, and we literally, this is the first public thing. I haven't even done it to my full list. There's been our inner list. We actually have about 30 people already registered from before I paused it. But this is the very first public thing with Miro's community, because he was literally the the star of what the whole transmission. So we just began. So we can hold up to 75 people. We frankly could hold 120. I'm not going to have it be that big because I like us to be spacious, but we have a little bit of space if we need to. So we're about halfway full, and y'all are the very first to hear about it. And so I would say that, yes, if you have people in your life and community that want to come, refer to Miro. Miro and I can get in conversation, and there's space, and there's even stuff from like, we have 5 different accommodation types, from like jungle to like 2-bedroom beach house, penthouse. So there's a lot of room and things that are available. So yeah, you guys are first on the list literally today.
That's incredible. So there's still plenty of opportunity, Jackie. You're included as part of your membership. Any additional team member, you can jam with Jules and she'll answer those questions. So you can speak to Jules directly. I recommend, given that you're going to be speaking, I haven't told you this yet.
We'll talk offline, Jackie. I'll send you an email and we can we can talk about everything. So cool. Wonderful. Awesome.
Up next, before we listen to Scott, I want to share a fun fact, because one of the things that came from Croatia, from your last experience, Jules, remember that 10-10 like speaker circuit thing? So that happened. The get paid to speak challenge was that. And so we literally had, over like 169 attendees for the get paid to speak challenge, 17 different speakers. I met Harrison, spoke at it. Laura Langmeyer, I got to connect with her, the millionaire maker, and it's totally up-leveled my network, level of confidence. And just now we have a platform for speakers to come on anytime to share their gifts. And it's just this multidimensional experience where speakers get to have a platform, people who want to learn how to get on speaking gigs, online or on stage, and have a place to learn those tools, tactical scripts, everything to get results. And Brittany was part of it. She's started creating, joint venture events. So they're creating an event right now. Brittany is there nodding. Wave your hand, Brittany, so Jules know you exist. And so she's a graduate of the Get Paid to Speak Challenge. And so many of you I've met only because of that, because Manny was one of our guest speakers who won our sponsorships package for this for the Fiji experience. So he'll be there. He just needs to get his freaking passport in order. so Manny will be there. I know David came from that through his community. And so that's one thing that was birthed, one idea that was birthed at an event like that with the right support. So it's manifestation is real, guys. It's working. So anyway.
Yeah, love that.
What questions do you have, my friend?
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and sharing some of your energy, your wisdom, your personal story and experience. I'm just organizing my first adventure retreat for entrepreneurs here this October in Whitefish, Montana. I'm so stoked for it, even if my energy seems pretty calm right now. And my question is just, if you reflect back to your first adventure experience that you curated, what is one really important thing that you, in reflection of that first experience, missed and you wish that you knew beforehand? Like, what was the big lesson out of that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do a lot of teaching about this subject as well, because I didn't know what I didn't know at the time. And at the time in 2016, it was like yoga retreats as the template. And I was like, but I want to bring business and art and music and travel and all the different things. And so I love that you are following that. And the biggest thing I would say is the value of being present with the experience. Like on my event, there's no set, like, you go to a huge summit, kind of like thousands of people, and it's like at 12 o'clock, no matter what's happening that day, this person's going to take the stage. At 3 o'clock, this is going to happen. And I'm in a place, and I think people are in a place that they want to be present with what's arising. There's a quality of emergence. And if you think about flow, it only happens in the moment. So be willing to hold the value that you have and what you want to do in the days, with also the real-time feedback of like, how are people receiving you? What's moving there? Like every morning, the facilitation team at my events, we have a 15-minute power huddle. We track different things like who are we tracking in the event? What are we tracking in the field? What's happening in the energy? And from that power huddle, we then decide what happens that day. And so like all from the outside, it's like, oh, content 1, be there at 10 o'clock. Well, content 1 at 10 will always happen. What content 1 is at 10, that really happens through the feedback. And it took me a long time because I thought for a long time, the more I threw, the more value it would be. But really it was the more I listened and the more that I was present, it was actually the space for it. And it's a different level of learning experience that I think people resonate with even more. So I would stay like present with that quality and see what shows up.
It's a beautiful book, The Present by Spencer Johnson too. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to add my 2 cents, having hosted a few incredible retreats myself. I think 2 things I think that are super important. As entrepreneurs, I think it's important to begin with the end in mind, because you want to know like what you want them to receive at the end, and also what the next step is afterwards. Because I think a lot of times if you don't have a second event planned or an additional container to support your people, it's kind of a missed opportunity. So I would think, think about the end in mind, like what is the next step after this transformation, because integration is going to be integration is going to be so important for your members. I think it's of great service. It's very kind to have a next step for your attendees because they want to stay in that energy in a way. So that's one. And the other thing I would say, have an incredible team. I was so blessed to have an incredible team that helps me with logistics so I can stay in my genius zone. And, sometimes you don't have all the resources for it when you're just starting out. Do a camping retreat and partner up with a facilitator, like do it simple, at the budget that you can, and having people like play in their genius zone so you can play in yours is really important. Because if you're driving the bus and you're worried about the meals and you're trying to have them have a spiritual breakthrough at the same time, it can be very overwhelming, and you're going to need a retreat after the retreat, So I think that having support, ample support, more than enough support, I'm a big fan of that. Does that help? Make sense? Cool. All right, up next, I see Harrison's hand raised and I got a message in the chat. Cool. We have a question from as well. Please.
Harrison, you're muted right now. Oh, right.
Okay. So go ahead and let's.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay. Harrison's muted. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I only got a minute here because I got to run because I've got another call. But yeah, Jules, I want you mentioned the word focus velocity, and I love that. No, I'm really into the whole idea and the understanding of that you don't tell reality what it is, it tells you what it is. And that's the strength of our awakening process. So what is focus velocity? Talk to me about that for a second.
Yeah, well, I would say focus velocity is looking at where the patterns are and actually going for the target. And I like to think about it, it's like magnetizing the target, but sometimes there's this passivity in how you do life. Even if on the court, it looks like you're doing all the right things and taking the action. Sometimes it's easier to be taking the action from the backseat of like, oh, this would be great if this does happen or doesn't happen. Of like, if I sign that client or if this thing happens. But then there's this active standing for something like you've never stood before. And it's like this, like in the driver's seat of like, this is what I'm creating. Like I am all in, whether this happens or not, to the journey and the practice as a practice. And I am taking all of my life force and I am moving it into a focused precision. And whether you hit that target or universe, God actually gives you something even greater, which usually happens for me the majority of the time, is irrelevant. But that intentionality of bringing your energy in focus does something very different than, and you can feel it in a great singer or a great performance, the moments where you watch a performer and you're like, oh, that was a nice performance. Or you watch someone bear their heart out and you're like, whoa, who is that? That's the slight difference that when you apply that to your life, from that passivity to that activity in your life, that focused momentum from that scattered momentum, things start really responding. And so that's some like advanced level little ninja stuff that I like practicing, but makes a huge difference. And very much when you're a Jack or Jill of all trades like I am, also makes a difference of how you train the universe to practice and co-create with you.
Very sweet. Thank you very much for that.
Thanks for asking, Harris.
Incredible. All right, I see some, I know Karina asked a question. Please, guys, raise your digital hands. There's like a little reaction buttons that you can use to raise your hand. So please use that. That way I would know in which order to go. But next up, Karina, would you like to come ask your question? Please unmute yourself.
Sure. Yeah. So, hello, everybody. Thank you for this. So beautiful. I just want to say thank you for that meditation too. Like I had tears of joy. That was really special.
My favorite type.
Yeah, I was just wondering, Jules, like you shared so many beautiful things, and I had this message come through recently that art is aligned, resonant truth. And so I had asked if you consider yourself an artist, and you said yes. And I'm curious to know what that means to you and what your experience with that has been like. Yeah, just thank you for being here.
Yeah, well, it's very much a beautiful question. It took me a lot of years. I could make all these business things happen in my life, starting my first 6-figure business at 18 and 7-figure business at 22. Yet it took me 9 years to make my first music album. And I grew up as the, daughter of a head Wall Street guy and the oldest of 5. And it very much was like the only 1% make it. So don't go pursue music, but business is safe and secure. And I'm sure we've all had our own version of that story. And what it took me was, hitting what was the peaks of creating all this stuff to really realize that there was still something missing. And only when I was willing to tell the truth that what was missing was my voice, that when I got congruent with my self-expression, with my business, I went from being good to unstoppable. And we all have so many pieces of our self-expression. And the time that I did my first event in Bali, day 5, was the very first time in my entire life that I felt that full fuck yeah. Like every part of my self-expression had a seat at the table in the same vehicle at the right place and at the right time. I taught yoga, I brought my ukulele, we ate epic food, geeked out on business, like all the things were there. But often we've been taught, focus on one thing, save that as a hobby, compartmentalize that. Yet when you are in the full art of your world, in your full creativity. And I know people who geek out on spreadsheets like my dad, and that is creative art. Like art does not have to look how we think art looks. And it's not available only for your creative or select few. It's available to all of us. And I think for me, that aligned resonant truth is being in the vibration of truth. And as the truth, what actually wants to be included. And oftentimes that's vulnerable and that's real. And when you reveal that vulnerability in real time, that's what has somebody say, I don't know what she's about or he's about, but I want to know more. I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. And maybe it's what drew you to Miro's community, but something about that guy, that's truth in action. That's art in action. That's alignment of self-expression in action. And so for me, being willing to step in and include the willingness, and you don't even have to know how sometimes, the form finds you. Then you get to actually be in that creation. And that for me has made, this whole journey, the unconventional life, like what was that even? I was like my call for my permission. And then it became something so much more. So thank you for that lovely question, Karina.
Beautiful. I know that is all the time that we have with Jules right now. Thank you so much. If you still have questions for Jules, you can by all means message me, but also how can people get in touch with you, Jules?
Yeah, so you can find me either on Instagram at Jules Schroeder Life, which I'll just throw that here. And you can send me a DM. It's a great way to connect. And then I'll also throw my email in, jules@unconventionallifeshow.com. If you put Jules Schroeder into Google, you'll find like all the things. We have over 350 plus podcast episodes. I've been running that podcast the last 6 years. We have everyone from Marianne Williamson to professional athletes, to entrepreneurs, to moms, it's everyone in between. So feel free to check that out as well. And if something about this resonated with you, feel free to reach out to me. If something about the event resonated with you, feel free to connect or bring your curiosity there. And I look forward to it. And I really appreciate Miro for giving me the opportunity to collaborate with you today in conversation. It's been so much fun. And thank you all for your generous listening. You have been so pleasant and wonderful to speak with. So
yay, I'm so stoked. Let's give it up and share some love for Jules. We'll see you, Spirit Fingers. We'll see you in Fiji for sure. But also in the meantime, lots of wonderful conversations to be had. So exciting. Alrighty. Thank you so much, Jules. In the meantime, let's hear takeaways. I'd love to hear from each of you, friends. What have you received from Jules today? There's a lot of codes that were dropped, wisdom, nuggets, maybe something practical. I know what I'm going to take away is tracking my invitations to create that space in my life for incredible, more amazing ideas to come through.
Yeah, awesome. Meryl and everyone, I got a boogie. I actually have an appointment with the chiropractor, so got to take care of the physical body. So thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Jules.
Bye, everyone.
Cool. Awesome. Yay. How fun was that? Let's see. I want to hear a couple of voices. Maybe when you, as you're integrating the chat, feel free to raise your hand to just like integrate what you have learned. Let's hear from somebody who we have not yet heard from. Putting you on the love seat. Sometimes the love seat gets hot. What's up, Chantel? Everyone say, what's up, Chantel?
What's up, Chantel?
Hi.
We can do better than that. Hang on. Everybody.
Yeah, I was like a delay.
Come on now. We can do better than that. Find the button on 3. It's what's up, Chantel, with insane enthusiasm. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What's up,
Chantel?
What's up?
All
Thank
right.
you.
What are you receiving, Chantel, and how can I support you right now?
Let's see. Well, first, I'm glad I'm here because my meeting got pushed another 30 minutes. I'm like, sweet, I can actually ask a question today. So let's see what I received at the beginning when she mentioned being okay saying no's to the 3s and 4s to be able to say yes to the 9s and 10s. I'm like, okay, go back to my boundary lessons, I see.
100%. Yes. With your, you literally manifest with your boundaries. Like what you're saying, I'm no longer willing to, I'm no longer available for, where you can draw a hard line in the sand, that actually determines how your business is going to go. That determines how the rest of your life is going to go. 100%. That's an incredible nugget. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Beautiful.
Let's see. Question. Let's see. I guess right now, my question would be kind of tying into how she brought up the whole channeling more of the music. Because that's kind of where I've been recently, where on one hand, I'm also a singer and an actor, and been trying to balance between that stuff and my entrepreneurial goals. At the same time, I've been also feeling a little burnt out recently. So I'm like, okay, what can be adjusted? Because I'm trying to lay off one source of income that was serving me for a while, but now it's been working more against me than it's helping me.
Mm-hmm.
While also make sure that everything is taken care of so I don't have that stress. So I guess I'm trying to work on how to balance things as I'm transitioning out from that and open myself up to more stuff I want to work on.
Yeah. Do you have permission to do an energy reading with you, an intuitive reading?
Yes.
Okay. Because I already feel like I picked up on some things and I like to ask for permission and be intentional about it. So the question I'm hearing you say is really like, cool, I'm going through a little bit of a burnout phase and I'm having this artistry, let's just call it that, passion. And then I'm having this thing that I do for money. And this thing that I'm doing for money, it is not lighting me up as much. There's not as much energy flowing here yet. How do I integrate the worlds, right? And the first question that came up for you, specifically, Chantel, and I know there's a lot of artists here who are hiding their gifts. It's for all of you, for all of us. It's what would it look like for you to show up with all of your gifts? What would it look like for you to show up with all of your gifts? What would it look like for you to show up with all of your gifts? Okay? And stay with that question until you have an answer. And I can give you some examples of when I sat with it and what I love to do. Here's what I love to do. Some people know this already. If you know me long enough, you know I like to freestyle sometimes. I'm the guy, I literally get a Lyft or an Uber and I will make a song for my driver. and it'll be based on his name, his passions in life. And then I walk away with having made a new friend. He's like, yo, where are you on Spotify or whatever? I'm like, yo, I'm not anywhere. This was live and direct only for you. You know, I love to freestyle. And so I was at a, Scott said we should rap sometime. We can do it right now. And we can do a whole song. And so I literally went to an event. It's called Rock Your Gift with my friend Sean Douglas Stewart. And he asked me that question. And what ended up happening is we did some spoken word, and then he asked me to lead a meditation. I led a meditation and it started to rhyme. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck's happening right now. But we had a guided affirmation rap song that was happening, channeled in real time, that was absolutely transformational, and people were in tears, and I loved it. And so now what I do is when I have fun, you know, the intuitive abilities that I do for my spiritual work, right? When I learned using theta healing, I learned how to tap in and speak to people's hearts and souls and giving them exactly what they need. And now when I go to parties, I use that to do a reading on a group of people and make a song for them, and that just channels and just flows. And everybody's like, holy shit, this is so spot on. For any outsider looking in, they're like, that guy makes not any sense at all. But like for those people, it's like, holy shit, you're speaking to my whole soul. Right? And so now my spiritual shit is showing up, my spiritual gifts are showing up in my friend and party life. And guess what? When we do events, it's my party life. Like it's literally going to Fiji, going to Mexico, like the party is there. I love celebrating, you know what I mean? That's my energy. And so literally how we do this mastermind, we start by celebrating wins. It's just something that's so important to me. I love to celebrate. I just do. And I also know that as entrepreneurs, we always focus on what's missing and what's not working. And so when we shift to focus on what's already working, what's going well, I learned what's well and what's wonky from Jackie Simmons over here. She's doing this too. It just brings fun into every coaching conversation, into every mastermind situation. It just brings the energy of celebration in, something that's very important to me. See? And so what does it look like for you? What are the things that you're passionate about? What are the things that are important to you? And how can you start blending and bringing in all that lights you up into the things that are not as energizing to you? How can you bring in the thing that energizes you the most into that thing that you have to do every day? Look, we come here, we meditate. Yo, a lot of people don't love meditation. Me, I'm obsessed with it. One way I get to do it all the time with you guys. If I don't meditate by myself because I forget or whatever, I can count on Monday Mastermind to happen. And so I know some of my students need to practice going up to the creator and working with Theta. Well, guess what? We're practicing every time we go to Monday Mastermind. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? And I've seen so many of you. Tracy, I think, is an incredible example of having fun with all of the work that she does. Tracy, say a few things about who you are and what you do in this world.
Oh my goodness.
I'm hot seat now. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Well, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I am a leader in personal development, so I do a lot with brain rewiring because my partner is Bob Doyle from The Secret. I have a business jumpstart mastermind that I help entrepreneurs launch new businesses. I work in podcasting, partner in Podcast Virtuoso, which is we get experts on shows in their niche to help, be the bullhorn and get their voice out. Starting a podcast called Miracle Messengers, and I'm going to interview what I consider miracle messengers on their miracle stories that launched them to be miracle messengers. That actually is going to come out October 15th. What else do I do? I have Luscious Living Lifestyle, which is a company Bob and I have that helps to bring in the 5 senses to your daily life. We have a lot of healing technology and really cool biotech. And yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So I love that. I love, Tracy, that how you introduce yourself as a serial entrepreneur and you just share all of the wonderful things that you do. Because how many of us have taught to like focus and niche down and do just one thing to fit in some kind of box that's like cookie cutter to model some kind of idea of success. Well, what is good is that if we don't get to express all parts of ourselves.
Right. I mean, the way I look at it, it's like, I have a business financial background. So I look at like having 12 different streams of revenue, and each one of them is one of my passions, and I may not be able to focus on all of those things, but as long as I keep the needle, moving forward in each single one of them, a little bit here and there, all of them manifest, all of them come to fruition in divine timing and order. And if I trust and have faith that it's all in alignment and it's all happening for me, then it's all good, you know?
Thank you so much for that, Tracy.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
switch over to Chantel. What are you receiving from that, Chantel?
Let's see. I'm receiving, I mean, there is a way to blend more of what I do. I mean, I've seen bits of it happen where so I do little side hustling gigs, and occasionally, because I do put in my profiles for these, like I am entrepreneur, I'm also a singer or a musician, and for those that are interested in like actually reading those, they'll be like, oh, what do you do? What do you do? And have like good conversations with them while I'm like doing what I need to for them. Other than that, I mean, I guess I'm still trying to have a healthy blend with it with my other stuff, because I'm a money coach for creative entrepreneurs. So it's like, okay. So ideally try and work with those that are in the creative fields, so we can have not just the I'm helping you with your money coaching side, but all right, how can we help each other with the creative side as well? Because I like what you do. Let's connect on that on another day so we can work on that as well.
Mm-hmm. So I think what you get to do, and I would love for you to practice more, is just speaking what did you do with such passion. You know how like you rant and rave around like a Netflix show, oh, you got to watch that show, you got to watch that series to a friend. That's how I want you to speak about your business and the passions that you have. Same level of just like, you know, I know you can convert somebody to, what's your favorite show right now?
Let's see, my favorite show, definitely The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay, cool. I only think about Game of Thrones and like those things, but but I know that you can convert somebody to what's your favorite show, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So use that same level of passion. Notice yourself when you talk about it next time. Notice yourself and start transferring that energy into your passions as you interact with people everywhere. And here's the thing, we got to get really good about being vocal about the things that you're passionate about, and speak about your offer all the time. Like I learned how to get over asking for the sale, right? I feel like, oh, I don't want to do anything bad to them, you know? You got to get over that. And so really start expressing what you want with joy and what you have to offer with total unattachment, if it's for them or not. But unless you're lit up about it and share it into it with such passion, nobody's going to be able to resonate with it, you know? And so I think a lot of us can benefit from just being more joyous and communicating all the passions that we have. And each passion can be an income stream for you because you have a purpose for all of them. And when you do, you just never shut up about it. Sure enough, people are going to find out, you know. One of the biggest things I think with TikTok right now is the big opportunity. That's the stage is in the palm of your hand, and the attention is so comparatively easy, right? You make a video, you can get 1,000 views, 10,000 views, 100,000 views. That's not unheard of on the TikTok world. Right now, even in Facebook, you can do 100 views, which is important because it takes one person to see you and resonate with you. And you can make it different for one person. It's worth it. And, you know, showing up, having fun at your highest vibration consistently every single day over time will be absolutely transformational. Some of you have asked how to do this. We have a whole TikTok sort of masterclass, how to get your first 10,000 followers and make your first 10K with TikTok. And I got Ken to come back next week, and Richard, hopefully, but definitely Ken will be teaching us around exactly how to do that, so you can have more fun, show up fully, and enroll your next one or next 3 or next 5 high ticket client using TikTok. So I'm so stoked on that. Jackie's all over that. She's like, ready, let's go. I wanted to hear some wins too. I know some of you have been implementing that work. Is Brittany still here? Did we lose her? Who's implemented some of the TikTok masterclass work? Who here? Just like raise your hand. Who's published, created a profile? Who has been to our TikTok masterclass? I don't even know if this is the right room. Okay, Empress has been here. James was here. David. Cool. What have you been, Trent? What have you implemented, friends? Come on now. Implementation leads to celebration. All right, just commit one next action. If you don't have anything to celebrate, I know you got something. Celebrate something in the chat, and then what is your next action step? Whether it's setting up your profile, making your first video, or asking your first question, because we have the resources available for you and the experts for you to make progress.
I'm going to laugh because James and I were supposed to be on a call at the beginning of this masterclass, and he reached out to me, and I'm like, "Oh crap, we booked this during Mira's masterclass," and he's like, "Yeah, I told Mira I was going to be late," and I'm like, "What if we get together later?"
Amazing.
And
This is so great. I wanted,
James,
yeah.
flexibility might be your superpower.
Super great. So James is an incredible human. He has a telehealth platform, and he helps, he saw the problem with crisis lines in the marketplace. You get to tell your story over and over again and like re-traumatize yourself when you call them. You don't get ongoing support. Literally the second time you call, they don't know who you are. You have to start from scratch. And there's so many problems with crisis lines. And so he's got this telehealth platform where service providers, healers, therapists, life coaches can be on and actually have a direct link to people who need help right now, urgently. And so he's bridging that gap. And then I'm hearing what Jackie does. Guys, look up Jackie Simmons on YouTube. She has a TED Talk that's absolutely life-changing, how to have the talk with your teenagers to prevent teen suicide. And she has a whole team here. Reverend Kelly is here and Katie. And they just do this incredible work and have done it for decades at a very high level. And this is the power of masterminds. Those two coming together, it's insane. She has a certification program, Conscious Transformation Technology Coaching. Okay, I added some words there. That's not the exact name. But like the synergies are insane. And I saw that just like I saw an opportunity when I was on a freaking super yacht in Croatia. I was like, yo, something wants to happen here. Something wants to happen here. So super stoked for you two to get in touch and mastermind. Thank you, Chantel. I know she had to jump. But yeah, so do make sure you connect with each other. And if you want me to point you in the right direction, who here to connect with, ask me a question. I can always plug you in. Oh, I'm noticing we're getting to the time, friends. Quickly, before you leave, I want to have you each share your biggest insight from today and your biggest action. In fact, I want to know, what will you be celebrating? Here's how I'm asking about your next action. What will you be celebrating on our next Monday Mastermind call? What will you be celebrating? I'm going to be celebrating our new Fiji members. I'm going to be celebrating our new members to going to Fiji. They'll be joining Jackie and myself with Jules. I'm so excited. Some of you already know that you'll be there, and I'm so excited to have those conversations. I'm also excited to celebrate more members. We have a program launch on August 11th, our Abundance Accelerator. And so I want more incredible souls to come partner with us, work with Ken and our team to get your social media presence, your social media revolution happen, to enroll more high ticket clients, premium clients, dream clients with confidence, and to sell out your coaching programs, your retreats, your events, and create profitable, powerful partnership to rock more stages. All of that is what I'm looking to celebrate here in the next 7 days when we meet again. And also more committed members to this, more people who say, you know what, I want to come back every week. I want to take advantage of Monday Mastermind. So that's what I'm celebrating. And the way I'm doing that is sharing this message with you guys and invite your friend. If you know somebody who knows they will benefit from this, invite them here. If they come from you, like 1 degree away, your vibe attracts the tribe. I trust that they're good people and they deserve to be here, so we can uplift everyone. The bigger each of us get, the bigger all of us get. Okay, that's a lot of celebrations for me. Who's up next? Who has something that they want to celebrate? I'm seeing 2 more spots filled in our October retreat, Scott. Fuck yeah. Let's fucking go. He says alignment right here. I want to know what is, like, yes, we help people fill up their events. Like, if you want help with that, my man, we need to put you on platforms. I'm game for that.
That you asking for me to share more, Mira?
By all means, this is your moment. Tell us. What are you going to be celebrating, and how can we support you with that? For sure.
Yeah, we launched our retreat 2 weeks ago. We got 2 people sold into it already. I'm just seeing 2 more people joining the retreat in the next week. Yes. And if you have platforms or other people have platforms where we can share a message about helping entrepreneurs create a business that's more in harmony and flow with their life, free from the stress and the grind and the burnout that so many of us, probably all of us, have experienced, I'd be stoked to connect with you.
Yeah, Scott does incredible adventure retreats, and he's an incredible guide and overall just living a rock star life, an incredible human. So connect with Scott, whether you have partnerships or you're interested in his retreat. I'm sure you do affiliates. You help people get rewarded for their introductions, Scott.
100%. Yeah, we have an affiliate offer through both of our current programs. We have a digital program and the adventure retreat that I just mentioned, and there is an affiliate, whatever you call it, commission for each of those. So
incredible, amazing. So if you just like to earn a little bit of extra money just by making an introduction, hit up Scott. Boom, snaps for Scott. I'm looking forward to celebrating those 2 new members with you, brother.
Thanks, brother.
All right, Jasmine. What's up, Jasmine?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, guys. Miro, thank you again for inviting me into this space. Today was amazing. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to just share space and energy with all of you wonderful creators. For me, celebrating, I have a bunch of voice memos that were created after the first TikTok masterclass that I set it on, but I haven't actually posted anything. The profile is set up, I just haven't added any content. So the win for next week is actually posting that content and actually creating videos for TikTok, and also confidently raising the prices for my sessions. I have not done that yet. So yeah,
you will be celebrating that.
Yes.
Okay, good. Got it. Yeah. Amazing. Confidently raising your prices. Abek, what's the new price that you're calling in?
It's still, I'm doing this in baby steps. So I'm going from 100 a session to 150.
Okay, we're gonna have a talk about that. But congratulations.
I know.
It's good. It's a great start, and I think that
Jasmine, we can have more than one talk.
What's that?
What if you're supposed to serve the masses, not the few? And there's a lot of hype around high ticket offers and raising your offers. And some people are supposed to serve the few. And some of us, like me, I'm about to launch a $25 a month offer. We're supposed to serve the masses. So what if you can't do it wrong?
Okay. I'm going to receive that. Thank you.
Absolutely. You can.
I just wanted to add one affirmation to that too, because I've been thinking about this $25 to $45 a month offer that is more accessible to more people. And if you think about it this way, more people can come into an offer that costs less than a gym membership per month than can come into a $5,000 to $30,000 mastermind. And it gives you a platform to help them through their journey to get to the point where they can afford your $5,000 to $30,000 mastermind. So just something to add some affirmation to what Jackie said.
100%. And I'm actually on the journey with you guys. The Monday Mastermind, there's going to be a way accessible version of this because it's been out of reach for a lot of people. And I'm committed to serve 100 incredible humans every Monday. And that's why I need all of your help to get people here and then have them just invested enough that it makes sense for them, that they get value of it, that they will implement, and that they'll come back, that they actually value it. Plus we have some overhead. We have a team that, helps make sure that the course platform gets created, that everybody gets invited and knows we exist and all that good stuff. And so I'm looking for this sweet spot membership model for the Monday Mastermind as well, where it's just this. And you can do that as well, of course, a portion. I will say on my journey, it's helped me, now I'm in a position to do this because I have my premium offers that help me with a bunch of cash flow, when, I think it is, I think everybody's at a different stage in their life and on their journey. Having had a premium offer early helped me a lot. But so of course I had the people and the support that helped me with the mindset to do it with confidence and congruence. So obviously, you can have your offer that you're super freaking, solid, confident around, and work on the next at the same time. So you're always expanding and you don't ever, lose an opportunity. I think what you deserve, what I would love from you, Jasmine, if you get my abundance activation for thought leaders, and this is for everybody here, that's a digital recording of my virtual event. It's one of the most potent work I've ever done, and I priced it at $997. It's $1,000 course, and I can price it at any point, whether it's $50, $500, or $5,000. It's a digital product. People can get access to it, and sometimes what I do is I gift it to people because it takes no more effort for me to gift them that recording. And so it's just something that I keep in my back pocket. And then I include it for all of my premium clients as well, because it is that potent. It's like the most potent thing I have done online that's been recorded. And so, what would it look like for you to, take a recording of something that you've done? And I know your affirmations are incredible. Your guided meditations are super powerful. You could have a short version of that. That's a gift to give people that experience, and then have, a more immersive experience of that that can be recorded. So you have a digital product, doesn't take your physical life energy to do, and you can spread it when your TikTok goes viral. You have people reaching out to you like, how do I get into your world? You have something that's a very easy yes offer for them without taking up your own time. Information. Okay, sweet. Do you feel loved and supported right now, Jasmine?
Absolutely. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough to everyone. Thank you.
Yes. Stay in this incredible container. There's so much love here for you. Beautiful. Maybe let's do one last celebration. What do you want to celebrate next week, or question or request? One last one before we close out for today.
Oh my God, next week is August?
It's already August.
It's already August.
All right, go ahead. Somebody who's on the right timeline. I'm still a month behind. Go for it.
No challenge. I want to celebrate everybody for being here. I want to celebrate Jasmine Pink, inviting her, reconnecting, spending some virtual quality time. Thank you so much for your graceful presence. And also I'm celebrating, same thing what Jasmine said, is I created my TikTok account, and then Miro inspired me to take my message in our virtual blockchain WhatsApp group and convert it into actual video. So I'm gonna put that into implementation. So like you say, teamwork makes the dream work. And I also am grateful for Mr. James, getting involved in our crypto and having him get results and connecting with Godwin. So we're working everything out. So I really appreciate this sacred environment. And like as Jules stated, is that the consciousness, when it all comes together in alignment, it happens. Thank you, Miro, because you are the hero.
Epic. Congrats, Empress. I'm excited for more celebrations. Jackie says, let's have a crypto chat. Absolutely. Connect with Empress. She is the Empress of the crypto world. And I'm so stoked for you guys to connect on that. I want to acknowledge Godwin in the room. Love seeing you, my friend. And Empress, who's your new friend? It just says iPhone. I think I heard you say the name, but I don't connect the dots yet.
Jasmine.
Oh, that's also, so we have two Jasmine.
Jasmine too. So we got two Jasmines in the house.
So Jasmines need to connect. What's up, Jasmine?
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Wonderful. What do you do in the world? And what are you hoping to celebrate next week? Both questions.
Okay, I'm supposed to share. I had thought about sharing. I am a practitioner of the healing arts, like all of us, but I focus on massage therapy. I focus on personal training, and I'm in school for film. So I have a lot going on. But I am launching my massage business officially. I've been freelancing for about 8 years now, but I actually am creating content and websites and all this stuff. So yeah.
That's amazing. So Jasmine is also a massage therapist.
Who?
Jasmine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because she was talking about raising prices, and I have been struggling with the same thing. And for a 90-minute with me, because I do, it's $225 the session. So I get the $150 for the hour, and then I just slice that in half and bumped it up per 30 minutes. But that's because I do intuitive healing and all that other stuff combined.
That's that's super fun and amazing. I'm gonna gift you guys something insane. It's called we created this thing called the Raise Your Prices Challenge.
Great.
And it's absolutely life-changing. It's free. So you can, we do have the VIP upgrade that comes with some one-on-one time, but here we go. It's a total free challenge. It's called the Raise Your Prices Challenge. Inside of it, I think it's on day 3 that Luz shares a worksheet that literally helps you break down exactly what your premium offer is. So you really break down the finer details of everything that you can include in a digital product. You both deserve, Jasmine's need to have a digital product, okay?
So thank you.
So you can collaborate on that if you desire.
Okay.
And do some partnerships around it. But yeah, absolutely get that digital product going, because as a massage therapist, you have the limitations of time and space, you know? You want to transcend those limitations because, you know, you do so much more than having a hands-on experience. You're a healer. Like, your words have value. Your wisdom has value. You can teach people the top 5 myths, mistakes, misconceptions that they have that will save them time. It gives them their lifetime back. There's a lot of stuff that you have that you know that I don't know yet that's valuable. I did a session with Jasmine, you guys. It was transformational. Not this Jasmine yet. We haven't met in person yet, but this Jasmine up here with the J, she came to our house and gave Nikki and myself these transformational massage therapy sessions that were with guided meditations and affirmations. And I literally felt like golden. I felt like I felt like freaking Thanos on a throne where I could just like snap my finger and like make shit happen. That was kind of like what happened. Without, of course, killing half the planet. That was not part of my intention. You know, it was more about creating rather than destroying for me. Full disclaimer, you know, full disclosure. But it was absolutely magnetic and powerful. So you two should definitely connect. And, you know, there's a lot more that would benefit from that soundtrack, right? The affirmation, the guided meditation and all that stuff. How many people need that right now, right? And what if the same people who fall in love with your voice and your essence and your energy will want to know, cool, how do I get deeper into your work? And you can be like, hey, no worries, you know? You built that brand, built that authority, so you can say, yo, it's $1,000 for a VIP day. You come fly to me or I fly to you, you know what I mean? And then you build from there. People pay $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 for VIP day experiences. If you don't believe that, like, ask Jackie. She's been in the game for decades, right? I have so many people and clients who've done this. One of my friends, Eileen Wilder, she's a homeschool mom. She has 5 children. She doesn't have time to, you know, for people please a bunch of clients, right? She literally just does one VIP day a year, and it's 50 grand for a VIP day. That's it. She does it with like 5 people, and that's it. That's her offer, VIP day. Isn't that insane? So just, you know, right now, just now, somebody bought a Pokemon card off of eBay for 50 grand just now. Literally just happened. I only know this because it happens every day. People spend money on incredible things every single day, and they're already spending that money with somebody else. This might as well be you.
Might as well. When I found a Babe Ruth baseball card inside a picture from that was at my 93-year-old friend's house, I thought, people are going to want this. And the reality is, crickets. Crickets. People don't want our stuff, guys. They want who they believe they will become working with us. Mm-hmm. What they believe they will accomplish working with us. They want the experience, not the stuff.
That's it. That's a writer downer. It's not the pieces, you know, it's not the thing that we think. It's what's in their mind of who they're becoming, what they're able to accomplish and create because of that moment in time that you came into their life. So well said, Jackie. Beautiful. This lamp is giving me sweats. So I'm going to need to recharge this guy and do some self-care. I'm so grateful for all of your presence. Please, in the chat box, share your, how do you like to connect with each other? How would you like to connect with each other? There's a lot of synergy in the room. Jasmine's are already connecting. If you don't already exchange information, do this now. You can definitely all connect in the Get Paid to Speak Challenge. There's a Facebook group that I want you all to be part of. There is over $4,000 of free content in there. So it goes really well with having a premium offer already. So when you join the Raise Your Price Challenge, you can learn about that. So much wisdom and knowledge in there, scripts, templates, and energy upgrades, to be honest, mindset shifts. And so now, once you have an incredible offer that resonates with people, how do you get it in front of people, right? How do you get it in front of the right hands and minds? You know, we do the TikTok challenge, the 10K TikTok challenge, because we want people to use the platform where the attention is right now. And there's so many other online events, in-person events. There's so many ways where your dream clients are already hanging out in bunches like grapes. Where do your dream clients hang out in bunches like grapes? So the Get Paid to Speak Challenge helps with that. And I don't know where the link is right now, but I know, okay, here we go. This is why I have an assistant. Is Leah with us? Okay, Leah is not here, but if you want to, okay, there is here, sorry. Oh, there it is, she's disguised as Miro. Will you please share the Get Paid to Speak Challenge link here so people can have access to it. And I think that's all. Well, you know what, since we're shutting down the Zoom, why don't you guys text me? This is one great way that you can get more access to resources. This is my business line. I respond to all things Manifest X, and I actually, people who are on my text database get invitations to special events, reminders around this event, but also invitations, not just like Fiji experiences, but all kinds of events. So like, I'm sure that Jackie will be launching an event soon. If you want to be at Jackie's event, I can send you an invitation to that through my private number.
Jackie's event will be in Hawaii in January, if I don't do a virtual one before that.
Epic. Beautiful. So text Miro. Also text Fiji. Like if you know you want to be part of the Fiji experience, text Fiji to Miro, and I will hook you up with everything that happens next. We have application forms, etc. Eventually we'll have a vibe check conversation to see what makes sense for you, at what level you get to play at in the Fiji, because we do have speaker spots. We have spots for guests. And for some of you, it's going to be a not yet, but like next event, you know, and that's cool too. And so, or virtual. And so we have something for everyone. So if you want to be part of that experience, just text me and we'll jam. Yay. And look forward for next week's Mountain Day Mastermind. I'm going to be celebrating each of you, and we've got Ken to help you guys grow your social following and get your first 10K on TikTok. 10K followers and 10K clients. So a little bit of both. All right. I'm so stoked. Thank you so much for sharing the space with me, for investing your lifetime with Miro and our crew and with each other. The most valuable resource that you have. I don't take that lightly. I don't want to take that for granted ever. Each of you matter so much. Your story matters. Your message matters. Your gifts matter. And your joy matters. You deserve that. So I'll see you on the next one. Thank you guys so much. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.